All rise. Judge Vonda B. Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB1055, Scott case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Mrs. Scott, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I am just really tired of my husband not doing things that he should be doing, such as spending quality time with me and our 17-year-old daughter.
Okay.
He's just not coming up to par, and frankly, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of it.
All right. So you all have a 17-year-old daughter.
Yes.
And you're tired of him not spending quality time with you and your daughter.
That's right.
I can totally understand that. Now, what does that have to do with me?
Well, I want a divorce.
You want a divorce because of that? You want to put him on child support because?
Welcome to SATV News, where emotional breakdowns crash headfirst into legal smackdowns. Today's case is a whirlwind. Mrs. Scott says she's had enough of her retired military husband, Mr. Scott. She claims he doesn't take her out, doesn't spend time with their 17-year-old daughter, and now she wants a divorce, plus child support. But here's the twist. Mr. Scott has been the steady provider for decades, serving his country for 50 years before finally retiring. Now, instead of peace, he's in court because his wife is bored. Judge Vonda B. wastes no time getting to the truth, cutting through the emotions with sharp logic. But the real question is Mrs. Scott just being petty, or is there something deeper hiding beneath the surface? What begins as a breakup quickly turns into a dramatic courtroom reality check. And believe me, the ending will leave you stunned.
Obviously, I mean, he is the provider of our home, and absolutely, I want child support.
He's the provider of your home and you just want to get rid of him like that?
I just feel
Because
like,
you're being petty and in your feelings?
well, I feel like we've just grown apart, and I'm just tired of him not making me happy. He doesn't take me out. We don't do fun things anymore. And frankly, I'm bored.
Oh, okay. Mr. Scott, why are you boring this woman to death over here?
I'm not really sure why I'm here.
Honestly, I'm not sure why you're here either. It sounds like she's just in her feelings right now because you're not spending time with her and your 17-year-old daughter. And you know, that's not what court is for. We don't just place people on child support because we're in our feelings.
I recently retired. I'm tired. I worked 50 years. And
just like that, Judge Vonda B. hits the brakes and questions the very foundation of this case. If Mr. Scott has been the financial backbone of the household, with no criminal issues, no signs of neglect or abuse, and definitely not a deadbeat dad, then what exactly are we doing here? Mrs. Scott isn't claiming harm, just that she's emotionally bored. But here's the real debate. Can being bored really justify dragging someone into court for child support? Is a lack of romance a legal offense now? Let us know what you think. Should emotional boredom really be enough to bring someone before a judge?
from the military.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
This man is tired. That's why he probably doesn't want to spend quality time all the time. Can you give him a break?
Well,
And sir, can you spend some more time with your 17-year-old daughter?
When she's home, I'm more than willing to do that, but she's 17 years old.
Right.
I mean, she has a life, friends, a phone, and I'm available.
I can definitely understand that. I can definitely understand that. Mrs. Scott, let's not be petty. Don't do that. There is no reason to come to court and divorce this man, place him on child support, especially if you say he's a provider. He seems like he's a good man, retired military. He takes care of you, obviously. You look beautiful. So I don't think this is the right route that you need to go. Most people that come in this court get put on child support because they either deserve to be put on it or they were doing something they didn't have any business doing when it comes down to not taking care of their kids. So I just wouldn't want to put this man on child support just because, like I said.
Retired military, and that changes everything. Mr. Scott likely spent decades in high-pressure, structured environments, possibly away from home for long stretches, missing birthdays, holidays, and everyday family life, all in service to his country. Now that he's retired and finally home, trying to adjust to a slower, normal life, his wife suddenly wants more excitement. And this moment hits deep, because it's no longer just about child support. It's about what happens when the mission ends. Is Mrs. Scott dealing with emotional neglect, or is this a painful example of how hard it can be for veterans to transition back into civilian family life?
Your Honor, I really don't feel like I'm in my feelings because it's important in a relationship for there to be wonderful things happening. We have to find ways to keep our relationship healthy and strong and moving forward. We can't just stand still and be stagnant. I mean, he's got to come up, he's got to do more.
Mr. Scott, can you assure Mrs. Scott that you're going to do more so you do not have to come in this courtroom and be placed on child support for a 17-year-old child?
I think her concern is it cannot solely be a burden for me. We have to work together.
I agree.
We.
I agree.
Yes.
You like that? I like that. That touched my heart.
This right here, Judge Vonda just dropped a courtroom gem. She's laying it out plain and clear. The courtroom isn't your personal diary. It's not where you go just because your partner stopped planning date nights or won't binge watch Netflix with you. If there's no abuse, no neglect, no real harm, then taking someone to court starts looking a lot more like revenge than justice. But here's the real question. When does emotional unhappiness in a relationship cross the line and become a legal matter? It's a blurry line, and Judge Vonda is making sure everyone sees exactly where she's drawing it.
Okay, and he loves you too. So, can I go ahead and dismiss this case and put people on child support that need to be on here?
Yes.
Thank you. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And there it is. The truth finally comes out. Mrs. Scott still loves her husband. When Mr. Scott says, "We must work together," even Judge Vonda's heart softened. This wasn't just about child support. It was a couple in crisis, using the courtroom as their last resort. In a rare twist, the courtroom became a place of reconciliation, not revenge. How often do you see that in family court? So, what just happened in the Scott case? We saw a wife fed up with emotional neglect, a husband freshly retired from the military, and a courtroom that almost turned into a therapy session. Judge Vonda made it crystal clear. Feelings aren't facts, and court isn't the place for breakups without a legal foundation. In the end, the case was dismissed. No child support, no divorce, just a much-needed wake-up call for a couple stuck in a routine. What do you think? Was Mrs. Scott out of line, or did she have a point about needing more in a marriage? If you found this case as real and raw as we did, make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to SA TV News.
I just want to go over what you saw in the Scott case. The Scott case was very cute, but it also had some petty elements to it, right? So wife was mad at her husband. He wasn't spending any time with her. He wasn't spending any time with their 17-year-old daughter. She said she had grown bored of their relationship. Well, you also saw that they made up, right? It's never going to be a good basis, guys, to come to court because you are in your feelings. It's very petty, and quite frankly, court is not the place for it. You really want to come to court based on good grounds. You know, one parent is not supporting the children like they're supposed to, or, you know, anything along those lines. But just remember, don't